Imagine this. Somewhere in the multiverse, there's a version of you already living your dream life. Same soul, different frequency, and the only thing separating you from that version is the way you breathe. Not the breath you take on autopilot, but the breath charged with awareness, with command, with intention. The kind of breath that ancient mystics used to open portals and shift dimensions. The kind of breath modern science now reveals can rewire your brain, alter your field, and collapse reality in your favor. You've been taught to chase your future, but what if you could inhale it instead? This isn't manifestation as you've heard it. This is manifestation as vibration, as physics, as primal power. And in this video, you'll remember how to breathe like a creator. Most people see breath as purely biological, just air moving in and out to keep us alive. But in truth, it's a sacred interface, a mystical technology hidden in plain sight. Breath is the only function that dances between conscious control and subconscious automation. That makes it a spiritual switchboard, a direct access point to both the nervous system and the soul. In every mystical tradition, from yoga to Kabbalah, breath is revered as a carrier of divine essence. It's not just about respiration, it's about revelation. To breathe consciously is to speak the silent language of the universe. This silent power doesn't merely regulate your physiology, it harmonizes your vibration. Each breath alters your electromagnetic signature, the unseen broadcast of your inner state. When you breathe shallowly, you vibrate in survival, low, frantic, fragmented. But when you breathe deeply, with presence and intention, you initiate a shift in chemistry, a shift in thought, a shift in the timeline you're tuned to. Science now echoes the wisdom of the sages. Breath changes brainwaves, heart coherence, and energetic output. It's the missing link in the manifestation formula, the bridge between thought and reality. When you breathe with deliberate rhythm, you encode intention into your frequency. That frequency is your command to the quantum field. So every inhale becomes a magnetic invitation, and every exhale a signal of surrender. In that space, reality doesn't respond, it reorganizes. At the quantum level, reality is not fixed. It's fluid, responsive, alive with possibility. Everything exists in a state of potential until observed, until chosen. Your breath is one of the tools through which you collapse that wave of potential into form. It doesn't just oxygenate your body, it modulates your presence in the quantum field. Every breath affects your nervous system, your brainwave state, and the coherence of your electromagnetic field. That coherence is what determines what versions of reality can lock onto you. Without it, manifestation is like tuning a radio without a dial. In quantum physics, the observer effect teaches us that reality responds to consciousness. But it's not just about thinking, it's about being. And being is best accessed through the body, through sensation, through breath. When you breathe intentionally, you move from mental effort to embodied resonance. The breath grounds your thoughts into the body, aligning them with emotional energy. That alignment is what shifts probability into actuality. You're no longer just thinking a desire, you're becoming it. So the breath becomes the activator, the igniter of possibility. It's not visualization alone that manifests, it's the vibration behind the vision. Breath tunes that vibration in real time. It anchors your awareness in the now, where the quantum field is most malleable. In this state, your electromagnetic field becomes precise, consistent, and attractive. You don't chase outcomes, you generate the frequency that draws them. In quantum terms, breath is not just life, it is leverage. The rhythm of your breath directly sculpts the rhythm of your brainwaves. Shallow, erratic breathing keeps you trapped in beta, the overactive state of stress, survival, and separation. But slow, rhythmic breathing begins to shift you into alpha and theta, the brainwave states of intuition, creativity, and subconscious access. These states are the doorway to manifestation. In alpha, you enter flow. In theta, you reprogram your reality. Your breath becomes the alchemist of perception, turning static thought into liquid possibility. When you move into these altered states, your inner world becomes more impressionable. You're no longer locked into the patterns of the past. Your subconscious mind, which governs 95% of your behavior and vibration, becomes receptive to new commands. And here's the quantum key. What the subconscious accepts as true, the body begins to embody and the field begins to reflect. This is not about wishful thinking. It's about energetic programming, written in breath and feeling. You don't just imagine, you install. This is why breathwork traditions have been used for centuries to enter visionary states. From shamanic breathing to yogic pranayama, the breath has always been the sacred portal. Modern neuroscience now confirms this. Breath shifts the nervous system, rewires the brain, and enhances neuroplasticity. When you pair that with clear intention and elevated emotion, you become magnetic. You're no longer reacting to the world, you're designing it from the inside out. One breath, one brainwave, one shift at a time. There's a hidden dialogue between your brain and your heart, and breath is the mediator. When you breathe with intention, especially in a slow, rhythmic pattern, you synchronize these two powerful centers. This harmony is called heart-brain coherence. In this state, the nervous system calms, cortisol drops, and your body shifts into a state of creation rather than defense. But even more profound, your heart's electromagnetic field begins to expand. That field is what sends your signal into the quantum universe. The HeartMath Institute discovered that the heart has its own intelligence, a brain of its own. And when it's coherent with your breath and mind, your body becomes a transmitter, projecting your intentions far beyond your skin. This field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's electrical field. It's the real voice the universe hears. You don't manifest through logic, you manifest through frequency, through emotion, through coherence. And breath is the dial that tunes all of it into harmony. When you breathe into your heart, you're not just calming yourself, you're activating a magnetic force. You charge your intentions with energy, sending them into the field with clarity and power. That's why a wishful thought without embodied feeling often falls flat. It lacks the charge, the resonance, but a coherent breath, fueled by heart-centered emotion, becomes a command, a vibrational match to the version of reality you wish to live in. And the field always responds to coherence. In quantum mechanics, a particle exists in all possible states until observed. This is called the wave function, and breath can be your way of collapsing it. When you shift your internal state through breath, you change your signal to the field. The universe doesn't respond to thoughts alone, it responds to states. A rapid breath pattern, such as the 4-7-8 or holotropic style, can snap your body out of resistance. It moves energy fast. It dissolves the illusion of delay. It tells the quantum field, I'm ready now. These breath patterns activate the parasympathetic nervous system, releasing stored tension and emotional residue. They open up the body's energy channels, turning the breath into a literal reset switch. Once resistance is gone, what remains is alignment, clarity, peace, and power. That state is magnetic. You're no longer just visualizing your desire, you are vibrating in sync with it. From that place, the quantum field doesn't just listen, it reflects. It reconfigures reality around your frequency signature. It may sound mystical, but it's biophysics. Coherent breath synchronizes the body's systems, raising your internal frequency to match higher timelines. The shift is instant, not because matter moves quickly, but because perception, Your access point changes now. And in that shift, the right people, paths, and probabilities begin flowing toward you. You don't manifest through strain, you do it through energetic permission, and the right breath can be the key that unlocks the entire timeline. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic, and breath is the conductor between them. When you breathe with intention, you give structure to your thoughts and emotion to your intention. You're not just thinking a desire, you're encoding it into your energetic field. Each inhale draws life force into the vision. Each exhale imprints it into space. The breath becomes a carrier wave, transmitting your inner world into the quantum sea. This is manifestation as communication, not with words, but with vibration. Without breath, thought floats, unanchored. It lacks the density to affect matter. But pair that thought with a calm, coherent breath, and it gains weight. It enters the realm of form. This is the law of vibration in motion. You become a conscious tuner, dialing into the reality that matches your encoded signal. Breath is what gives thought a body. It transforms a mental image into a broadcast. In this state, intention isn't just hopeful, it's magnetic. The body listens to breath more than it does to words. So do your cells. So does the field. This is why affirmations spoken with shallow breath often feel powerless, but affirmations breathed, felt, and spoken from coherence become commands. Not to control reality, but to harmonize with the version that already exists in potential. Breath becomes a yes to the timeline you're calling in. And the more consistently you breathe into it, the faster it becomes real. Long before modern science caught up, the ancient mystery schools knew the breath was sacred. In Egypt, the priests of Thoth taught that breath was the key to activating the ka, the energetic double of the soul. In India, yogis mapped the pranic pathways, using breath to awaken Kundalini, the serpent of divine power. In Greece, Pythagoreans practiced conscious breathing to harmonize the soul with cosmic order. Breath was never seen as mere physiology. It was initiation, a sacred rite, a tool for entering higher realms. These traditions didn't use breath to escape the body, but to expand it, to transform the vessel into a temple of frequency. Breath was the method by which humans tuned into divine intelligence, the logos, the Tao, the field. It wasn't just about health, it was about transcendence. To breathe was to remember the divine pattern, to mirror the rhythm of creation itself. Inhale as receiving, exhale as giving. The breath became a mystical loop, a cosmic pulse inside the chest. Even the word spiritus in Latin, from which spirit derives, means breath. The breath was seen as the soul's whisper, the invisible thread tying body to cosmos. Mystery schools guarded these truths, passing them on only to the initiated. Today, those teachings are returning. As breathwork resurfaces in modern healing, it carries with it echoes of ancient wisdom. You're not just breathing. You're awakening. You're remembering that every breath is a spell and every exhale a creation. Many people say manifestation doesn't work for them, but often it's not the method that's broken, it's the alignment that's missing. You can think the right thoughts and even feel the right emotions, but if your breath is shallow, chaotic, or unconscious, your energy stays scattered. The field doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. And the breath is the vehicle that unifies thought, feeling, and frequency into one coherent signal. Without that coherence, your desires get jammed in static. Breath reveals your true energetic state. You can say, "I am abundant," but if your breath is short and your chest tight, your body is saying, "I don't feel safe." The quantum field picks up on the signal of the body, not the script of the mind. That's why breath is the lie detector and the calibrator. When you breathe consciously, You strip away contradiction. You align intention with embodiment. And only then does manifestation become inevitable, because it becomes vibrationally true. This is why techniques alone fall short. Vision boards, affirmations, scripting, they're powerful, but only when the breath supports the message. When the breath is in alignment, every technique becomes supercharged. Your desires are no longer concepts, they become currents running through the field. Breath is the amplifier, the integrator, the truth serum. When you breathe like you already have it, you start vibrating like you already are it. And the universe, it listens to that frequency. The future isn't something you wait for, it's something you breathe into. Every inhale is an invitation to align with what's next, and every exhale, a letting go of what no longer serves. When you consciously breathe from a place of having, not lacking, you begin embodying your desired reality now. This is where true manifestation happens, not in the chase, but in the breath-anchored presence. You're not breathing for survival anymore. You're breathing for creation, for coherence, for convergence with your future self. The key is embodiment. You must feel as if it's already done, and breath helps you generate that feeling in the now. You're not waiting for evidence, you're becoming the evidence. Through breath, you slow down enough to feel the vibration of gratitude, joy, and certainty, the markers of fulfilled intention. This moves you out of wanting energy and into having frequency. The quantum field doesn't deliver based on hope, it delivers based on resonance, and breath creates that resonance moment by moment. So, breathe into the version of you who already lives the life you're calling in. Breathe as if it's already here, because energetically it is. Every conscious breath is a handshake with the future. Every exhale dissolves the illusion of separation. You become a living transmitter of that timeline, not someday, but now. This is quantum creation through breath, immediate, embodied, and inevitable. You came here seeking a method, but what you've uncovered is a memory. The breath was never just a tool. It was a key, a tuning fork, a divine whisper reminding you that you've always had access to the field, to the frequency, to the infinite now. You don't need more effort. You need more alignment. And alignment lives in the spaces between your breaths, in the stillness, in the rhythm, in the awareness that you are the signal. Every conscious breath is an act of remembering. Every exhale, a release of the lie that you are separate from your power. So as you go forward, don't just breathe to survive. Breathe to sculpt, breathe to command, breathe to become. And if this awakens something in you, give it life. Like, share, and subscribe to the Cosmic Awakening channel, because this is only the beginning.